When gardening, soil is the single most important variable to consider. Soil is valuable for a number of reasons: absorbing and retaining water, as a source of nutrients, as an anchor for the plant, and as a home to a myriad of visible and invisible forms of life. When classified by texture, there are three main types of soil: sandy, silt, clay, and the ideal mix, compost, which helps sandy soil retain water and improves drainage in clay. While texture is an important factor, you can learn more about the organic matter, nutrient, and mineral content of your soil by collecting a sample and having it analyzed. Your local Texas A&M AgriLife Extension office will provide you with more information and the sample bags.
So even if your soil looks like this, with patience, knowledge, and the right approach, you can improve it to get plentiful harvests.
A very good evening, students. Today we are going to study a new lesson in social science. The name of the lesson is Indian soils. Hey students, what is the name of the lesson that we are studying today? The soils of India. Soils of India. You know that soil is the topmost layer of the earth's crust. This particular soil, it is the thin surface layer of the earth which comprises of closely intermixed minerals and organic substances, and several minerals which are present in this particular soil are very much essential for the proper growth and development of the plants. And soil is an invaluable natural resource. It is a precious gift given by the God to the mankind, and especially soil is a very important natural resource of India, because India is a land of villages. Many people are concentrated in this particular rural areas. Nearly some 65% of the Indian population is being concentrated in rural areas, and for the people who are living in rural areas, the main source of livelihood is agriculture, and this particular agriculture is the backbone of Indian economy. And this particular agriculture, it is the primary occupation of people in India, and the people who are engaged in agriculture and agro-based activities do come under primary sector. Agricultural production, it do depends upon the fertility of soil. Yes students, agricultural production, it depends upon the fertility of soil. Soil formation, the soil formation of India, it depends upon the nature of parental rock. You know that soil is formed by a process called weathering of rocks, and this particular soil formation in India, it depends upon the nature of parental rock. It depends upon the relief features, that is the hills and mountains. It depends upon the climatic conditions prevailing in that particular geographical area. It also depends upon the natural vegetation, that is nothing but the flora which is distributed in a particular geographical area. There are varieties of soils found in different parts of our country. Depending upon the nature of rock which will be subjected to weathering, different types of soil will be found scattered in different parts of India. The soils of India have been categorized into 6 major types, and that 6 major types of soils in India are alluvial soil, the black soil, red soil, laterite soil, desert soil, and mountain soil. Yes students, the 6 major types of soil present in India: alluvial soil, black soil, red soil, laterite soil, desert soil, and mountain soil. The first soil that we are going to study today, it is alluvial soil. Alluvial soil. The first soil that we are studying now, it is alluvial soil. Alluvial soil is composed of alluvium, and this particular soil, it is formed from the sediments being deposited by the rivers. You know that it is in the North Indian plain. This particular alluvium soil is widely distributed. Many perennial rivers which are born across the slopes of Himalayas, they flow across this particular North Indian plain and deposit alluvium soil. So alluvium soil, it is also called as deposited soil, and it is widely distributed in the Indo-Gangetic plain. And this particular alluvial soil, it is also found in western coastal plain and eastern coastal plain, which is being deposited by the sea waves. Alluvial soil, it is very expensive and very important soil of India. Yes friends, I repeat, alluvial soil is very expensive and very important soil of India. This particular alluvial soil, it plays a very important role in agricultural development of our country. Alluvial soil is mainly responsible for the agricultural development of our country. It covers a vast geographical area of 15 lakh square kilometers. Some of the crops which are grown in this particular alluvium soil are wheat, paddy, sugarcane, cotton, jute, potato, vegetables. Here two fiber crops are grown in this particular alluvium soil. One is jute and cotton. The next important thing it will be the cereals. It is nothing but wheat and paddy, and even potato and vegetables also will be grown. Varieties of vegetables can be grown in alluvial soil. And the fine and new alluvium soil, it is called as Khadar soil. There are two types of alluvial soil. One is Khadar soil, other one is Bhangar soil. Young alluvium soil is called as Khadar soil and the old alluvium soil is called as Bhangar soil. The fine and new alluvium, it is nothing but Khadar soil. The coarse gravel as well as the older alluvium soil, it is called Bhangar soil. Both this particular soil are widely distributed in the Indo-Gangetic plain and they are called by this particular names, that is Khadar and Bhangar, with respect to the local language prevailing in that geographical area. Alluvial soil, it is composed of alluvium. This particular alluvial soil, it is one of the deposited soil. It is also called as transported soil. It is also called as ex situ soil. Why it is called ex situ soil means many perennial rivers which are born across the slopes of Himalayas, they flow across the North Indian plain and deposit alluvium soil. As it is formed by the deposits brought by the sediments of river, it is called as deposited soil. Where it is found in India, it is mainly found in Indo-Gangetic plain and it is also distributed in the western coastal plain and also in the eastern coastal plain. This particular alluvial soil, it is very expensive soil, it is very important soil, it is very important for the growth and economic growth and development of our country, because alluvium soil is known to support this particular agriculture. And this alluvial soil, as it is present in North Indian plain, 40% of the Indian population are concentrated in North Indian plain, as very good irrigation facilities are provided by Ganga river, Brahmaputra river and Indus river, and very good fertile soil like alluvium soil is present. Every year the old layer of alluvium soil will be replaced by new layer of alluvium soil, as a result of which the crops grow very nicely, as all the nutrients will be made available for this particular plants to show proper growth and development. And the area of distribution of this particular alluvial soil is 15 lakh square kilometer. The crops that can be grown in alluvial soil, it is wheat, paddy, sugarcane, cotton, jute, potato and vegetables. Alluvial soil, it covers a vast geographical area of 15 lakh square kilometers. Some of the main crops which grow nicely in this particular alluvial soil, it is wheat, paddy, sugarcane, cotton, jute and even varieties of vegetables, and among that even potato also. And what do we call for the young alluvium soil? Young alluvium soil, it is called as Khadar soil. Old alluvium soil, it is called as Bhangar soil. And both these particular soils are mainly distributed in the Indo-Gangetic plain. And that plain is called as Indo-Gangetic plain because that plain is made fertile by two rivers. One is the Indus river, other one is the Ganga river. You know that Indus river, it is born in Mount Kailash of Tibet. This particular Indus river, it has 5 tributaries: Ravi, Beas, Satluj, Jhelum and Chenab, and even Ganga and its tributaries, that is Gagra, Gandak, Gomati, Sone, Kosi, Yamuna, Chambal. All these particular Ganga and its tributaries also make that particular land to become fertile by providing very good irrigation facilities and even by bringing this particular deposits of alluvium soil. Now let's move on to the next soil, that is black soil. Black soil. Black soil is also known as Regar soil. Black soil is also known as black cotton soil. You'll be wondering why black soil is called black cotton soil, as it is best suited for cultivation of cotton. Cotton is the widely cultivated crop in that particular black soil. This particular black soil is formed by disintegration and decomposition of volcanic rocks in the form of basalt rocks. The color of the black soil is known to vary from dark grey to black in color. It is going to vary from one geographical region to another geographical region. Black soil, it is very much suitable for dry farming. It is rich in clay particles. The black soil is rich in clay particles. It can hold the moisture for a longer period of time. It has higher retention capacity of this particular moisture, and this particular black soil, it is extremely compact in nature and it is very much suitable for cultivation of cotton, cultivation of sugarcane, jowar, maize, pulses, wheat and chilies. Black Black soils are largely found in this particular Deccan basalt rock. I repeat, black soils are widely distributed in the Deccan basalt rock region of India, and some of the places which come under this particular Deccan basalt trap, it is Maharashtra, Madhya Pradesh, some parts of Telangana, northern part of Karnataka, some parts of Gujarat, Tamil Nadu, and the geographical area occupied by this particular black soil, it is 5.46 lakh square kilometer. What is black soil known as? Reger soil. And what is the other name for black soil? Black cotton soil. Why black soil is called black cotton soil? As cotton is the widely cultivated crop in this particular soil, it is called as black cotton soil. What is the color of black soil? It is going to vary from dark grey to black in color. What is rich in black soil? High amount of clay particles will be present. What happens if clay particles are present? They can hold that moisture for a longer period of time, and there will be no need for frequent irrigation, and hence it is suitable for dry farming, and it is most compact soil. Black soil is very much suitable for cultivation of cotton. Apart from cotton, it is very much suitable for cultivation of sugarcane, jowar, maize, pulses, wheat and chilies. Black soil is widely found in this particular Deccan basalt trap region, including Maharashtra, Madhya Pradesh, parts of Telangana, northern part of Karnataka, and even parts of this particular Gujarat, Tamil Nadu. It occupies a vast geographical area of 5.46 lakh square kilometer. The next soil that we are going to study, it is red soil. Red soil, it is a kind of soil which is present in India, which is formed by disintegration and decomposition of crystalline rocks. Red soil, it is a kind of soil which is formed by disintegration and decomposition of crystalline rocks in the form of granite as well as gneiss. There are two crystalline rocks, that is granite and gneiss. When they are subjected to weathering under environmental conditions, at that moment under environmental conditions such as high temperature, heavy rainfall, wind velocity, pressure, etc., these particular rocks are known to undergo disintegration and decomposition, and ultimately they turn into red soil. You will be thinking why this soil got the name as red soil. The color of this particular soil is red or reddish brown, and because it is rich in iron particles, when these iron particles, that is iron oxide, when it comes in contact with air and water, it undergoes corrosion and impart the red color to this particular soil. What is the speciality of red soil? It is more sandy in nature and less clay in nature. I repeat, red soil is more sandy in nature and it is clay in nature. This particular red soil, it cannot hold this particular moisture for a longer period of time, and it covers a vast geographical area of 5.2 lakh square kilometer. Red soil is widely distributed in Tamil Nadu. Tamil Nadu has more amount of this particular red soil. When we come to our Karnataka state, in south part of Karnataka, red soil is present. Red soil is also present in Maharashtra, Madhya Pradesh, Odisha, Kerala, Goa, Uttar Pradesh, Assam, Manipur, Nagaland, West Bengal. These are some of the places in India where red soil is present. Red soil is found in south part of Karnataka, some parts of Maharashtra, Madhya Pradesh, Odisha, Goa, Uttar Pradesh, Assam, Manipur, Nagaland, West Bengal. Red soil is very much suitable for cultivation of ragi. Ragi is the widely cultivated crop in this particular red soil, because this particular ragi does not require so much amount of irrigation facilities for its growth and development, and with scanty rainfall itself, the ragi can grow nicely. Red soil is suitable for cultivation of millets, groundnuts, tobacco and potato. What are the crops that can be grown in red soil? Ragi, millets, groundnuts, tobacco and potato. Variety of crops can be grown in this particular red soil if very good irrigation facilities are present. If irrigation facilities are not available, then it is very difficult to grow the crops in this particular red soil. Especially if you want to grow paddy in red soil, there is a need for continuous irrigation facilities, as there is a need for standing water must be there in the agricultural land till the crops are harvested. What is red soil? It is one of the widely distributed soil present in India. Which type of rocks, when they undergo weathering, red soil will be formed? It is formed by disintegration and decomposition of crystalline rocks. Name to crystalline rocks, it is nothing but granite and gneiss. And what is the color of red soil? Red or reddish brown. What is the nature of this particular red soil? It will be more sandy in nature and less clay in nature. And what happens in case if it is more sandy in nature, it can't retain the moisture for a longer period of time, and it covers a vast geographical area of 5.2 lakh square kilometers. Name some places in India where red soil is present. Some of the places in India where this particular red soil is distributed, it is extensively found in Tamil Nadu, means on a large extent we can come across in Tamil Nadu. It is also present in south part of Karnataka. It is present in parts of Maharashtra, Madhya Pradesh, Odisha, Kerala, Goa, Bihar, Uttar Pradesh, Assam, Manipur, Nagaland, West Bengal. Name some crops that can be grown in red soil: ragi, millets, groundnuts, tobacco, potato. If you want to grow paddy in red soil, what is required? Very good irrigation facilities are required. Only when very good irrigation facilities are available, then only varieties of crops can be grown. The next soil, it is nothing but laterite soil. Laterite soil are found in tropical areas. Tropical areas are those places which have extreme hot conditions, and these are the areas which are witnessed by high temperature and heavy rainfall. Laterite soil, it is one of the soil which is widely distributed in tropical areas where extreme hot conditions will be there, that is high temperature conditions will be present, and even very good rainfall will be available. Laterite soil, it is also called as leached soil as it is formed by a process called leaching. This particular soil in India, it covers a geographical area of 2.48 lakh square kilometer, and in India we can come across this particular laterite soil in the uplands of Western Ghats. It is also noticed in Eastern Ghats, the Chota Nagpur Plateau, Meghalaya Plateau, Rajmahal Hills, Vindhya range of mountains, Satpura Hills. This particular laterite soil, which is also called as leach soil, it's not fertile soil at all, and it is very much limitedly used for agriculture. Some of the crops which can grow nicely in laterite soil, it is cashew nut, rubber, two beverage crops in the form of tea and coffee, and paddy can also be grown in this particular laterite soil. Where is laterite soil present? In tropical areas. What is the speciality of tropical areas? They are witnessed by high temperature condition and heavy rainfall. What is the geographical area occupied by laterite soil? 2.48 lakh square kilometer. Where it is present? In Western Ghats and Eastern Ghats, in the uplands of Western Ghats and Eastern Ghats. Laterite soil is also found in Meghalaya Plateau, Rajmahal Hills, Vindhya range of mountains, and also in Satpura Hills. What is the method by which laterite soil is formed? It is formed by a method called leaching. What is the speciality of this particular laterite soil? Is it a fertile soil? No, it is not a fertile soil at all. It is limitedly used for agriculture purpose. Name some crops that can grow nicely in this particular laterite soil. It is cashew nut, rubber, tea, coffee, and paddy. The next soil that we are going to study is desert soil. What is meant by a desert? A vast geographical area where sandy soil is found distributed and extreme hot conditions are prevailing over there. It is called as desert soil. Desert soil are formed under desert and semi-desert condition, that is arid and semi-arid condition. This particular desert soil in India, it is largely found in the northwest part of India, and some of the places where desert soil is distributed is Rajasthan, south part of Haryana, Punjab, north part of Gujarat. You will be wondering why only in these regions only desert soil is present. Because human beings, they have destroyed these particular trees on a large scale, and the soil has been subjected to soil erosion. Because of soil erosion, the topmost layer of the soil got washed out. Over a course of time, that particular land, it turned into desert region, that is desertification took place. That's the reason why in Rajasthan, south part of Haryana, Punjab, and north part of Gujarat, this particular desert soil is present. What is the nature of this particular desert soil? It is fairly friable soil, means it can be powdered. It is fairly friable. It has high soluble content of soluble salt. In this particular desert soil, plenty of salt is present, soluble salt. And the nature of this particular desert soil, it is sandy in nature, it has less amount of moisture and less amount of humus. Laterite soil is also found in Meghalaya Plateau, Rajmahal Hills, Vindhya range of mountains, and also in Satpura Hills. What is the method by which laterite soil is formed? It is formed by a method called leaching. What is the speciality of this particular laterite soil? Is it a fertile soil? No, it is not a fertile soil at all. It is limitedly used for agriculture purpose. Name some crops that can grow nicely in this particular laterite soil. It is cashew nut, rubber, tea, coffee, and paddy. The next soil that we are going to study is desert soil. What is meant by a desert? A vast geographical area where sandy soil is found distributed and extreme hot conditions are prevailing over there. It is called as desert soil. Desert soil are found under desert and semi-desert condition, that is arid and semi-arid condition. This particular desert soil in India, it is largely found in the northwest part of India, and some of the places where desert soil is distributed is Rajasthan, south part of Haryana, Punjab, north part of Gujarat. You will be wondering why only in these regions only desert soil is present. Because human beings, they have destroyed this particular trees on a large scale, and the soil has been subjected to soil erosion. Because of soil erosion, the topmost layer of the soil got washed out. Over a course of time, that particular land, it turned into desert region, that is desertification took place. That's the reason why in Rajasthan, south part of Haryana, Punjab and north part of Gujarat, this particular desert soil is present. What is the nature of this particular desert soil? It is fairly friable soil, means it can be powdered. It is fairly friable. It has high soluble content of soluble salt. In this particular desert soil, plenty of salt is present, soluble salt. What is the nature of desert soil? It is fairly friable in nature. This particular desert soil, it has high soluble salt content. It is more sandy in nature and it is low in moisture, and it has low amount of humus. And what is humus? The decaying organic matter is called as humus. Because of the lack of humus, because of the lack of water retention capacity, and because of high percentage of soluble salt content in it, the crops cannot be grown in this particular desert soil. In simple words, we can say that desert soil is not suitable for cultivation, and only in oasis, wherever some traces of water is present, where very good irrigation facilities are available, only there this particular crops can be grown in desert soil. What is the geographical area occupied by desert soil? It is 1.42 lakh square kilometer. Where is desert soil formed? In desert and semi-desert region, that is arid and semi-arid region. Where in India it is widely distributed? It is widely distributed in northwest part of India. Name some places in India where desert soil is present. In Rajasthan, south part of Haryana, Punjab and north part of Gujarat. What is the nature of desert soil? Fairly friable, presence of high soluble salt content, and low in moisture and low in terms of this particular humus. And is it possible to grow the crops in desert soil? No, it is not possible. We can grow some crops in desert soil if very good irrigation facilities are available in oasis region. What is the geographical area occupied by this soil? 1.42 lakh square kilometer. The next soil that we are going to study, it is mountain soil. When you hear the word mountain soil, as the name itself signifies that this particular mountain soil is found along the slopes of the hills and mountains, which is being covered by forest. What are mountain soil? It is a kind of soil which is found along the slopes of hills and mountains. This where natural vegetation is present, that is flora is present. And mountain soil, it is mainly formed. Mountain soils are mostly formed due to the decomposition of organic matter. It is quite obvious that across the slopes of hills and mountains, unique flora and fauna will be present. Means even along with unique flora and fauna, wide natural vegetation, means a vast geographical area will be covered with natural vegetation, and wherever natural vegetation is there, wild animals also will be present. Whenever their lifespan come to an end, when these plants and animals die, their dead bodies will get decomposed by microorganisms and nutrients will be added to the soil. Hence we can conclude that mountain soil is rich in humus. Its water retention capacity will be very high, and it is the most fertile soil, this particular mountain soil. What is mountain soil? It is a kind of soil present along the slopes of the hills and mountains, being covered by forest. What is the speciality of this particular mountain soil? Mountain soil is formed by decomposition of organic matter. What is mountain soil rich in? It is rich in humus and it is rich in fertility. What happens if humus is present? Water retention capacity of the soil will be very high, and even the nutrients also will be more, which will help the plants to grow nicely. What kind of crops can be grown in mountain soil? Plantation crops. What are plantation crop? If a single kind of crop is grown in vast geographical area in the form of estate, it is known as plantation crop. Name some plantation crops. It is tea plantation, coffee plantation, coconut plantation, arecanut plantation, betel leaves plantation, etc. Where this particular mountain soil is present in Jammu and Kashmir, Himachal Pradesh, Manipur, and even along the Western Ghats. What is the geographical area occupied by mountain soil? It is 2.85 lakh square kilometer. The geographical area occupied by mountain soil, it is 2.85 lakh square kilometer. Soil erosion. The denudation of soil cover and its subsequent washing away due to wind current and water current by natural agents is known as soil erosion. I repeat, the denudation of soil cover, that is removal of soil cover, and its subsequent washing away by denudating agents in the form of wind and water is known as soil erosion. In simple words, you can say that soil erosion is nothing but the removal of the topmost layer of soil by natural agents. And what are the agents that play a very important role in soil erosion? It is nothing but rivers, glaciers, wind currents, that is the winds, large quantities of air blowing from one region to another region carrying plenty of kinetic energy along with them, as well as this particular sea waves. What does this denudating agents does? They try to remove the topmost layer of the fertile soil. If the topmost layer of the fertile soil is being removed, what's going to happen? The nutrients will not be available for the plants to show proper growth and development. Over a course of time, the yield of the soil the yield of the soil will become less. Means the production of food grains in the agricultural land becomes less. And still, if neglected, it turns into a desert region. Soil erosion is one of the major problem of India, as Indian economy is agro-based economy. Now, you'll be thinking, what are the causes for soil erosion? Some of the causes for soil erosion is deforestation. What is deforestation? The unnecessary cutting down of trees by the mankind to make more amount of money within less amount of time. It is called deforestation. De means removal of forest. Next important thing, overgrazing of cattle. Apart from growing the crops in the agricultural land, one more important occupation of people living in rural areas, it will be animal husbandry. They'll be having a number of cattle. They take that particular cattle for grazing, and when this cattle is being taken for grazing, it will eat away this particular plants along with the when these particular plants are uprooted along with the roots. At that time, the soil will become loosened, and this particular loosened soil will be exposed to the denudating agents, and that particular topmost layer of soil will be washed out by wind current and water current. Next, shifting cultivation. Shifting cultivation, it is a kind of cultivation followed by nomadic people. Nomads are nothing but wandering people. They are also called tribal people. They keep on wandering from one place to another place in search of better place of living. They try to cut down the trees in a particular geographical area. They try to burn that particular trees, and they convert that particular forest land into agricultural land. They grow the crops in that particular region for a certain amount of time. Once the fertility of the soil becomes less, they migrate to the new areas and they repeat the same process. And this agriculture, it is also called as slash and burn agriculture. It is also one of the reason for soil erosion. Apart from that, this particular shifting cultivation, it is called by different names in different parts of India. In Karnataka, it is called as Kumari. In Kerala, it is called as Punama. In Andhra Pradesh, it is called as Podu. In Assam, it is called as Jhum cultivation. Next reason for this soil erosion, it is faulty methods of cultivation. The farmers following faulty methods of cultivation and using even this particular topmost layer of soil for making this particular bricks and also the tiles. Using the topmost layer of soil for making this particular bricks and tiles, it is also one of the reasons for soil erosion to take place. Now, what are the effects of soil erosion? Once this particular soil erosion is known to take place, the fertility of the soil will be lost, and agricultural productivity will be hampered, and there will be immense loss for the farmers. Not only immense loss will be there for the farmers, even the economic upliftment of nation will be hindered, and even the source of livelihood of farmers will be stolen away. So further, soil erosion leads to silting. Whenever this particular silt is known to get accumulated in this particular path of river, the rivers are known to overflow and floods are known to take place, and whenever this particular floods are known to take place, that particular flood water, it rushes to the agriculture land and the crops will be completely submerged under water, and even the surrounding villages also will be completely flooded. Accumulation of silt further in the path of the river may make that particular rivers to change their course of direction of flow. If rivers start changing their course of direction of flow, what's known to happen? The farmers who are completely dependent on that particular rivers for irrigation facilities, they don't get proper irrigation facilities, and agriculture will be hampered and immense loss will be there for the farmers. Accumulation of silt in this particular water reservoir reduces the water holding capacity, and more amount of water cannot be stored in that particular water reservoir, and further desilting will be a costly process which cannot be paid by the farmer with respect to water reservoirs concerned to them, and even for the government also periodical desilting, it will be a troublesome. And if top layer of soil, that is final particles of soil, gets washed out because of soil erosion, the percolation of water into that particular soil does not take place and the groundwater table does not get recharged, and therefore even if multiple borewells have been dug in this particular agricultural land, no water will be available for farmers for irrigation facilities, which will be seen in terms of this particular television channels, that despite of so many borewells being available in the agricultural land, there is a scarcity for water and agriculture is impacted. And because of this soil erosion, the vegetation cover will get dried up because water holding capacity will become less, moisture in that soil will not be available, and extreme drought conditions are known to take place. Economy as a whole is known to suffer a setback. Soil conservation. What is meant by conservation of soil? Protecting the soil from soil erosion and maintaining the fertility of soil is called as soil conservation. Different methods to be undertaken by the government for this particular soil conservation. It is reforestation program. What is meant by reforestation? It is nothing but rebuilding the forest. It is a program that is undertaken by the government, where earlier there was some trees in the forest, but the trees have been cut down by the man in order to meet their greed, and again we are planting the trees in the same region and we are rebuilding that particular forest. This is called as reforestation, that is regenerating the forest. The next method is afforestation, creating new forest by growing the trees in the wasteland or community land belonging to the government. It is known as afforestation program. That's why from the year 1950, one of the major program that has been undertaken by the government is Vana Mahotsava. It is one of the tree planting festival which is celebrated in the month of June and July, where many trees will be planted in the wasteland or community land belonging to the government, and new forests will be created in order to promote this particular soil conservation and to maintain ecological balance and biodiversity. Next, overgrazing of cattle should be avoided. Contour farming should be done, that is the plowing the land across the slopes of the hills. Check dams should be constructed. Contour bunding should be done, that is bund should be constructed across the agricultural land. What is soil conservation? Protecting the soil from soil erosion and maintaining its fertility is called as soil conservation. Why soil conservation is very important? To enhance the fertility of soil to meet the food requirements of the ever increasing population. What are some of the methods to be undertaken by the government for this particular soil conservation? Reforestation and afforestation programs must be undertaken by government. Overgrazing of cattle must be avoided. Contour farming should be done, that is the plowing the land across the slopes of the hills. Check dams should be built in this particular agricultural land, and contour bund should be constructed across the agricultural land. Gully erosion and bench terracing should be done. Gully erosion should be controlled, gully control should be done, and terrace farming should be done. Means agricultural land should be created in the form of steps. Soil testing center should be established in every hobli, and farmers must be educated to bring the sample of soil to that particular soil testing center, and based on that particular fertility of soil only, the fertilizer, based on that particular fertility of soil, which nutrients are there, which crop is suitable. By taking the opinion of that particular soil testing centers, they have to grow the crops in the agricultural land. And the indiscriminate use of pesticides and insecticides must be avoided. Farmers must be educated to grow the crop breeds that consume less amount of water. Apart from that, the farmers must be educated to use sprinkler method of irrigation and drip method of irrigation, which are considered to be the scientific methods of irrigation. From all these things we can come to know there is a urgent need to conserve this particular soil if we want to meet the food requirements of the ever increasing population. So whenever 5-year plans have been undertaken by the government, whenever the new government comes at the center, as even with respect to state is concerned, according to the 5-year plan, top priority should be given to the conservation of soil. The soils that are formed from the sediments deposited by rivers are known as alluvial soil. Black soil is also known as Rager soil and black cotton soil. Under the conditions of high temperature and rainfall, the kind of soil that is formed in tropical areas is none other than laterite soil. Mountain soils are best suitable for this particular plantation crops. What are the major types of soil present in India? Alluvial soil, black soil, red soil, laterite soil, desert soil and mountain soil. Explain the distribution of black soil in India. Black soil in India is mainly distributed in Deccan Basaltop. It is found in Maharashtra, Madhya Pradesh, parts of Telangana, northern part of Karnataka, parts of Gujarat, Tamil Nadu. It is known to occupy a geographical area of 5.46 lakh square kilometer. What are the characteristic features of red soil? Red soil is formed by disintegration and decomposition of crystalline rocks in the form of granite and gneiss. The color of this particular red soil, it will be reddish or reddish brown. It is more or less sandy in nature and less clay in nature. It can't hold this particular moisture for a longer period of time. It is very much suitable for cultivation of ragi, millets, groundnuts, tobacco and potato. What is soil erosion and soil conservation? The denudation of soil cover and its subsequent washing away due to wind current and water current. It is called soil erosion. What is soil conservation? Protecting the soil from soil erosion and maintaining its fertility. It is called soil conservation. What are the causes for soil erosion? Some of the major causes for soil erosion are deforestation, overgrazing of cattle, mining activities of human beings, shifting cultivation followed by nomadic people, faulty methods of cultivation, using top layer of soil for making bricks and tiles. What are the major effects of soil erosion? Some of the important effects of this particular soil erosion is loss of soil fertility, fall in agricultural productivity, silt accumulation in the path of river, making the rivers to overflow, causing floods, silt accumulation in the path of river, making the rivers to change their course of direction of flow, groundwater table does not get recharged as percolation of water does not take place properly in the soil, vegetation gets dried up and drought conditions are known to prevail, economy as a whole is known to suffer. Which soil is suitable for coffee plantation? Mountain soil. Which soil is formed due to the decomposition of organic matter? Mountain soil. The soils which is formed in tropical areas under the conditions of high temperature and rainfall, it is laterite soil. Which soil is suitable for growing jute? Alluvial soil. Which soil is not suitable for cultivation of many crops? Desert soil. Now, laterite soil. Laterite soil, it is nothing but it is poor in nitrogen and salts. Mountain soil. What is the speciality of mountain soil? It is suitable for growing coffee and tea. Erosion of soil. What happens if erosion of soil takes place? It results in deforestation. Alluvial soil. What is the speciality of alluvial soil? It is suitable for growing jute. And agriculture. Agriculture is the major occupation of Indians. How soil is formed? Soil is formed by weathering of rocks. Soil formation in India is mainly related to parental rock, relief features, climate and natural vegetation. Black soil is suitable for growing cotton and chilies. Black soil is rich in clay particles. It can hold this particular moisture for a longer period of time and it is highly compact in nature. There is no need for frequent irrigation facilities. Mention the major crops of red soil. Red soil is very much suitable for growing ragi, millets, groundnuts, tobacco and potato. Name the crops of laterite soil. It is nothing but cashew nut, rubber, tea, coffee and paddy. Mention which type of soil is required for growing beverage crops such as tea and coffee. It is mountain soil. Name the types of alluvial soils in India. It is Kadar and Bhangar soil. Kadar soil is nothing but the fine and new alluvium soil, whereas Bhangar soil is nothing but the rough alluvium soil, that is which is rich in coarse gravel, and it is the older alluvium soil. What are the steps taken for conservation of soil? Some of the major steps which are taken for conservation of soil, it is protection of soil from soil erosion, preservation of fertility of soil, and employing reforestation and afforestation programs, controlling overgrazing of cattle, contour farming, Afforestation and reforestation, avoiding overgrazing of cattle, contour farming, that is plowing the land across the slopes of the hills, constructing check dams, contour bunding, gully control and bench terracing. These are some of the methods for conservation of soil.